Hi, we're here at the SYF SC2 Summer LAN in Melbourne. I'm here with Daniel Fenner, goes by the name of Fenner, plays for Team Frenetic Array from Australia. How are you today, Fenner?
I'm pretty good, man. Having a good tournament so far. Lost a probe in a winner's bracket, but just getting caught off guard by some hidden pylons and stuff.
You just come back from a series against Echo Esports' Probe, did unfortunately go down 2-0. You and Probe obviously have a fair bit of rivalry here in the Australian scene. How do you feel going into this matchup, and did you do any preparation beforehand specifically for Probe?
I guess people say we've got a rivalry now, but most of it's joking. Like, we're really good friends. We talk some crap to each other, but it's all in good gesture. So there's not too much of a rivalry, actually. We do practice together sometimes as well, but not for a while. I know what kind of styles he likes, so he likes the 3-base styles, he likes late 2-base, kind of gateway pressures. So I didn't do too much preparing, I've just been watching DRG lately. I've been stealing pretty much all of his builds, 3 hatch before pull with Drone Scout. And basically you've just got to try and find the pylons, find out what they're doing. And that seems to be what ZVP comes down to, just find out exactly what they're doing. And if you miss any kind of information, then you're going to get caught off guard and lose. So in the series that we played, it was heavy rain, I couldn't find the pylons, so Zealots got in. And then I didn't see his third in the second game, so he had too much economy for me to hold off the push.
We've seen some strong Fray players recently, like Betrayus and Iaguz, getting picked up by NA Team Root Gaming and heading over there into the team house. Do you still find time to practice with them and utilise them as practice partners despite them being overseas?
No, I don't currently practice with him, but Betrayus still helps me out a lot. He's obviously a lot better player than me, and he gives me a lot of tips on how to play. He even gave me a couple of tips going into this, just how to play a lot better in ZVP. The funny thing is I didn't actually use those tips because I watched DRG after, and I just stole DRG's play instead of listening to Betrayus, but he definitely helps me out a lot. I don't really play with Iaguz anymore, but I still keep in contact with both of them, and they're both having a really great time in the root house. It's cool that they got such a good opportunity to go over there.
On that note, obviously heading overseas and being part of an American team house has let them have an opportunity to break into the North American scene. How do you think our scene over here compares to the United States, and what do you think we could do to improve it?
That's a tough one because I think the scene over there is way bigger. But we have got really good players. I think like the top 5 players here, Pig, Iaguz, King Kong, if you count him, he's kind of Korean. Who else? Betrayus, obviously. So those kind of players, they're definitely at the top NA level standards. But because they're in Australia, they don't get that many opportunities. So the fact that they go over to North America is really good for them. Even though they're actually having some troubles getting into tournaments, because a lot of tournaments are going to America only now, which kind of sucks for them. But yeah, I think the NA scene is really good for American players at the minute because a lot of people are trying to force the Koreans out so they can just see the Americans play. A lot of the American players whine, so they can get tournaments like that. But yeah, it's really good over there for Americans.
Obviously, StarCraft 2 is quite a complex game, and it can be pretty intimidating for new players coming into the scene. Being someone who does make tutorial videos, what advice would you have for any new players that are trying to make a break into StarCraft 2?
If you're like completely new, just start from the bottom. A lot of people try and jump into like 3-base builds, just trying to macro everything up because that's what they get told, they've got a macro. But I think if you're a new player, like completely new, you're not going to be able to execute even a 1-base build, like 14-14 Banes, for example. So just start with those kind of builds, build it up, start with like 14-14 Banes on 1-base, then move up to 2-base, then move up to 3-base. If you take steps like that, it's going to become a lot easier instead of diving into the deep end, trying to copy the builds of pro players.
It's something that's been on the community's mind for a while, and people have been trying to figure it out to no luck. And I've got to ask, Fenner, how do you manage to be so handsome?
Well, it's the beard, man. That's what it's all about.
Brings all the ladies.
Yeah, exactly. So, basically, grow a beard.
Good advice there. That's all we have time for today. Thanks very much, Fenner, and good luck with the rest of the tournament.
Thanks a lot, man.